Kinard. At that time, the court appointed the public defender to represent Mr. Kinard for these proceedings in municipal court. The court at that time made an initial determination to hold Mr. Kinard without bond due to the nature of the offense and criminal history. And then the court scheduled this matter for 3 days later to conduct a hearing pursuant to 2937-222, and whether or not the court would continue to have Mr. Kinard held without bond, or whether or not the court would set other terms for bond. The court's now conducting that hearing. Would counsel please identify themselves for the respective parties? For the state of Ohio?
Your Honor, Michelle Banbury representing the state of Ohio, and I have a witness with me here today, Detective Ryan Connell.
Very well. For Mr. Kinard, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Attorney Scott Riley with the Legal Defender's Office on behalf of Mr. Kinard.
Thank you. So the court is going to begin the hearing at this point. At this hearing, the accused has the right to be represented by counsel. He is represented by counsel. And the judge shall afford the accused an opportunity to testify, to present witnesses and other information, and to cross-examine witnesses. Initially, as I conduct this hearing, Mr. Riley, do you intend to call witnesses for Mr. Kinard?
Your Honor, good morning again. No, at this time we do not intend to call witnesses. We do, however, object to this hearing proceeding via video. Mr. Kinard, according to Criminal Rule 43, has a right to be present for these proceedings, and we object to the proceedings occurring in video where I have no ability to confer with my client as the hearing is going on and prepare for cross-examination of the state's witness.
So the court is overruling your objection. The court has people appear for hearings every day via video, and the court finds that's a normal and ordinary course. So I'm overruling that objection. The court's going to proceed with the hearing at this time. And so in this instance now I'll turn to the state. Does the state wish to offer testimony or evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, I wish to call Detective Ryan Connell.
Detective Connell, can you raise your right hand? You swear to testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, as you shall answer unto God.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you say your full name for the record and spell your last name?
Detective Ryan Connell, Connell.
By whom are you employed?
City of Norton Police Department.
In what capacity?
As a detective.
How long have you been employed with the City of Norton Police Department?
Since 2015.
How long have you been a detective?
Since 2017.
What type of training and education did you obtain to become a police officer and a detective?
Along with Basic Police Academy. Graduated that in 2011, became a police officer in 2012, obtained a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and continuous education and training through the Norton Police Department.
I want to direct your attention to May 17, 2023. Did you have an opportunity to investigate a case on that day?
I did.
What were the circumstances?
As it pertains to this matter, began the investigation as a single vehicle crash. Upon investigation, we discovered that the driver of this crash had been shot 2 times. The investigation then turned from a vehicle crash into a homicide investigation where we investigated and spoke with witnesses and proceeded in that manner.
You spoke with witnesses at the scene?
We did.
What did the witnesses inform you of?
Witnesses described, I guess to kind of backtrack a little bit, the investigation occurred on a major interstate around 5:30 in the afternoon. Traffic was extremely heavy. When we spoke with the witnesses, they described a road rage incident involving a smaller blue vehicle and a black Camaro with tinted windows, a tinted license plate, and potentially tinted taillights. The witnesses described the road rage incident where the Camaro went off the shoulder, passed several witnesses, came back onto the lane, and they heard and observed shots being fired from this black Camaro into the blue smaller vehicle. Several witnesses stopped. The Camaro then fled at a high rate of speed, and that's when we got involved.
So the driver of the smaller vehicle was deceased.
Correct.
Did this occur on I-76, you indicated?
Correct. I-76 eastbound near the Easton Road overpass.
All right, and that's in the city of Norton, Summit County, State of Ohio.
It is.
What did your investigation lead to you to next?
Through us obtaining video evidence from the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, we were able to observe a black Camaro that we identified and what witnesses described as the Camaro, traveling eastbound. The Easton Road overpass is west of Cleveland-Massillon Road, which would have been the next available exit for the Camaro to exit. The Camaro did not exit at Cleveland-Massillon, however, it did exit at the next one available to them, which would have been Barber Road. Upon getting to the Barber Road exit, the Camaro then makes a left-hand turn going north on Barber Road, at which point it traveled past several surveillance cameras. One of the cameras was able to capture a license plate for the Camaro. The video evidence then showed that the Camaro made another left-hand turn and entered the highway going westbound on I-76 and ultimately drove back past the shooting. Once we were able to obtain a license plate for this Camaro and the timeline matched where we were able to follow the Camaro from the point of the shooting to when it exits Barber Road to then when it passes the camera, we were able to obtain license plate information or registration information which identified the defendant as the vehicle owner.
All right, when you say the defendant, you're referring to Dacarrei, Kinard?
I am, yes.
All right, and he's the one seated in the jail seat viewing this hearing today, correct?
It appears so, yes.
Tell me what happened next.
After identifying Mr. Kinard as the vehicle owner, we started an investigation into exactly who Mr. Kinard is. Part of that was obtaining driver's license information, contacting the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and kind of just reaching out to various analysts in the area to help us process some information and do a workup on who Mr. Kinard is. We were able to locate a telephone number for Mr. Kinard. He provided that to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles on April 29th of this year when he renewed his driver's license. So between April 29th and May 17th, this matter of 2.5 weeks or so, he had just provided the BMV with a phone number. So we were able to use that phone number to make sure that Mr. Kinard was or was not with his vehicle up on
Objection.
76.
What's the basis of the objection?
The presence of the phone is not indicative of the presence of the person.
So the court will overrule the objection. You can continue to testify.
By using the phone number that he provided to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, we wanted to place him with the car or eliminate him from the investigation to show that he was not with the car when this happened.
All right, and what did that reveal?
We were able to show that the device that Mr. Kinard listed with the BMV, which was ultimately registered to him, was in fact with the Camaro on I-76, and we were able to follow the the line of travel for which the Camaro did.
Is I'm going to object lack of foundation.
It's overruled. You can continue.
So what further evidence did you gather?
Along with the video evidence of showing the Camaro, showing it exiting Barber Road, along with the witnesses identifying the black Camaro as the suspect, using the cell phone evidence to place the device that Mr. Kinard just registered with the BMV at the location of the scene, or at the scene of the crime. What we were able to show was that Mr. Kinard's driver's license is registered, or it shows him having an address down in Columbus, which is 2 hours away. We were able to watch the device leave Columbus, travel up I-71 through I-76, turn around at or near Barber Road, and then travel back to Columbus. And we ultimately spoke with Mr. Kinard during interrogation.
Did he make any statements?
He did.
What statements did he make?
Mr. Kinard was able to place himself in the black Camaro within an hour and a half to 2 hours before the shooting. He identified himself as driving that car. And then we just kind of talked in circles for a little while, but that was one of the major key statements that he made.
Did he identify anyone else that would have been driving the vehicle at that time?
He did not.
Is Mr. Kinard being investigated for any other crimes that you're aware of?
Objection.
Overruled.
He is.
And what's the nature of that?
In conducting our investigation here in Norton, we were able to recover 8 spent shell casings on I-76. Those shell casings were then collected as evidence and turned over to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI, where they submitted them for further testing. The shell casings here in Norton matched shell casings that were recovered during an investigation in Columbus. I believe it was the beginning of April of this year, where their video evidence showed a black Camaro. It appeared it was potentially another road rage incident where shots had been fired from this black Camaro towards the beginning of April of this year. So shell casings recovered in Columbus matched shell casings that were recovered here in Norton.
Are you familiar with this defendant's record?
Briefly, yes.
Okay. Does he have a record?
Yes.
Is it extensive?
I don't know what extensive would be, but yes, he has been arrested before.
Objection to the phrase extensive. Move to strike.
The objection's overruled. The court can on its own determine what an extensive record is. You may continue.
Is there anything else you believe this court should know regarding bail or bond condition?
No.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Very well. You may cross-examine.
Detective Connell, what does extensive mean to you in terms of his record?
Because I don't have a definition for the word extensive.
So would you agree with me that Mr. Kinard might have 2 prior convictions for felony offenses? Are you aware of that?
I am.
Are you aware that the first one occurred in 2013?
I believe so,
It was
yes.
a non-violent theft offense.
I don't know if it was nonviolent or not.
It was a theft offense,
Okay.
felony, and the second and only other felony he has is receiving stolen property from (2010). Are you aware of that?
I am.
Will you agree with me that that is the extent of his felony background in terms of convictions?
I believe it also involved a prison sentence.
My question to you, though, Detective, was he's got 2 prior felonies going back 10 and 13 years, correct?
Correct.
That's the limit of it, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And those felonies were low-level felonies, correct?
I believe so, yes.
You indicated that at the beginning of your testimony that you talked to many witnesses. How many witnesses did you talk to?
There were 2 witnesses at the scene that provided statements, and then following the investigation at the scene on the 17th, we had many others reach out and provide statements as well.
Anybody give you any information on what happened before the shooting?
I believe that the 2 witnesses at the scene provided an explanation as to the road rage occurring.
And what explanation did they give you?
That a smaller blue vehicle was engaging in some form of a road rage incident with the black Camaro.
And that's the extent of what they told you?
That's what they were able to provide leading up to the shooting.
They couldn't provide any further details to this road rage?
They stated that the smaller blue car had cut off the black Camaro.
You indicated that through your investigation you reached out to several analysts. You recall saying that?
I do.
Who did you reach out to? Who are the analysts?
So the Ohio State Highway Patrol provides a quote hub out of Columbus where they provide analytical investigative tools. So that there's an entire team through the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and when we reach out to them, it just depends on which analyst falls in line.
What did they analyze?
So they assist us with trying to locate current addresses, current social media accounts, current phone numbers, relatives, any place where a individual that is being investigated may stay, known associates. And then they also have software that they provide that will analyze cell phone data.
And did they analyze cell phone data in this case?
They did.
When was Mr. Kinard taken into custody?
The exact date, the day that I obtained the arrest warrant, I don't have that directly in front of me. They gave you that last week.
Okay. When he was taken into custody, where was he?
Columbus, Ohio.
And you recall the address?
1414 Livingston Court.
And that's his mother's home, correct?
Correct.
And was he there when you showed up with your arrest warrant?
The arrest warrant was provided to investigators in Columbus who actually made the arrest.
Okay. From what you know, because you weren't there, correct?
Correct.
From what you know, it was it wasn't a standoff. He was presented with the warrant. He was taken into custody.
Mr. Kinard was cooperative. Yes.
He was very cooperative.
Correct.
And you said you interviewed him. I'm assuming you read his Miranda rights. Am I right about that? And he cooperated with you on that, correct?
Correct.
He knew he had a right to a lawyer, but notwithstanding that, he spoke with you, correct?
Correct.
So he was cooperative.
Correct.
Was a search conducted of his mother's house?
It was.
You know if that was done via warrant or by consent?
Via warrant.
Was that warrant prepared before they arrived at the house? Do you know?
No, it was prepared after.
After Mr. Kinard was already in custody?
Correct.
Was the vehicle at the Livingston address?
It was.
And was that vehicle seized?
It was.
Was that vehicle processed?
It was.
Is that done by you or by the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
That was done by Columbus PD's crime scene team.
Were you able, in the course of your investigation, able to determine whether or not Mr. Kinard was employed?
I was.
And you would agree with me that he was employed, correct?
Correct.
And that was at MI Express, which is a semi trucking company in Columbus.
It was.
And he held a CDL and was a local driver.
Correct.
You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Was a search warrant obtained for the information from Mr. Kinard's phone?
It was.
Was that done before or after his arrest?
Before.
Do you agree with me that he has no history of contempt of court in his 2 prior felony arrests?
I do not know.
You would not dispute that, however, correct? You have no information to indicate that he has a history of contempt.
I don't know.
You have no information, right?
Correct.
Judge, at this time I have no further questions of the witness. However, I do request permission to speak with my client prior to continuing,
All right.
prior to terminating my cross.
We'll take a break, and why don't you go out in the hallway and call him on the phone? We will turn off our recording devices at this point, and what I'm concerned about, Mr. Riley, is that I can get bleed through from the county, so if you're talking to him, I can hear it. So I'm going to shut off our connection to the county right now, go out on the phone and talk to him, and then when you come back, we'll reconnect to the county.
Thank you.
Mr. Kinard, you're going to go back to the phone now, and your attorney